Your 401k is supposed to be your ticket to retirement. But for most people, it's leaking money in 8 different ways. The average employee will lose over $500,000 to 401k mistakes they don't even know they're making. Not from bad investments. Not from market crashes. From simple settings they never checked and rules they never learned. In this video, I'll walk you through all 8 mistakes, what each one costs you in real dollars, and how to fix each one in under 2 minutes. Then I'll show you 3 features your employer probably never mentioned, that could add hundreds of thousands more. If you have a 401k, this video is worth more than your next contribution. Let's start. Mistake 1. You're not getting the full employer match. This is the single biggest mistake in 401k investing. 1 in 4 employees doesn't contribute enough to get their employer's full match. Here's what that means. If your employer matches up to 5% of your salary, and you contribute 3%, you're leaving 2% on the table. On a $60,000 salary, that's $1,200 a year in free money that you're declining. Over 30 years, invested at 8%, that $1,200 a year grows to $146,000. You turn down $146,000 because you set your contribution 3% instead of 5%. The fix: log into your 401k right now. Find your employer match formula. Increase your contribution to at least the full match amount. If you can't afford it all at once, bump it 1% every 6 months until you get there. Free money. Take it. Mistake 2. Auto-escalation is not turned on. Most modern 401k plans have a feature called auto-escalation. It automatically increases your contribution rate by 1% every year. You set it once, and it handles the rest. Most people never turn it on. They start at 3% when they're hired, and they stay at 3% for 20 years. Every raise goes to lifestyle, not retirement. Here's what that costs. 1% of a $60,000 salary is $600 a year. Over 20 years, with annual increases and 8% returns, the difference between staying at 3% and escalating to 10% is over $400,000. $400,000, just for turning on one setting. The fix: log into your 401k. Search for auto-escalation or automatic increase. Turn it on. Set it to 1% per year. Done. You'll never think about it again, and it'll add hundreds of thousands to your retirement. Mistake 3. Your default contribution is 3%, and that won't fund a retirement. By law, most plans default to 3% unless you choose otherwise. 3% feels reasonable. It's not. Financial planners recommend 10 to 15% of your income for retirement. That includes your employer match. 3% is less than a third of what you need. Here's the math. If you earn $60,000 and contribute 3% for 30 years at 8%, you end up with about $350,000. That gives you about $14,000 a year in retirement income. The average person needs $40,000 to $50,000. The fix: aim for 10% minimum. If you're at 3, go to 4 next month. 5 the month after. You won't notice the difference in your paycheck, but you'll see it in 30 years. Mistake 4. Too much company stock in your 401k. 1 in 3 employees holds at least 20% of their 401k in their own company's stock. Some plans even encourage it with a discount on company stock purchases. This is dangerous. If your company struggles, you lose your job and your retirement at the same time. Enron employees learned this. Their 401k was 60% Enron stock. When the company collapsed, they lost everything. Job gone, retirement gone same week. Diversification isn't about being smart. It's about not being destroyed by one company's bad luck. The fix: cap your company stock at 10% of your total 401k. If it's above 10, sell the excess and move it to a broad index fund. Yes, even if you believe in your company. Especially then. Mistake 5. You left an old 401k sitting in a former employer's plan. The average person has 2.7 forgotten 401k accounts. Those accounts carry the old plan's investment options, the old plan's fees, and no oversight from you. 1 in 12 Americans has completely lost track of a 401k. You're paying fees on money you forgot you have. The old plan may charge higher fees than your current one. You might be in a target date fund from a job you left 10 years ago, paying 0.5% when your new plan has a fund at 0.03. The fix: find your old accounts. Go to unclaimed.org. Search your name. Roll old balances into your current employer's plan, or into an IRA at a low-cost provider like Fidelity or Vanguard. One rollover, one time, could save you tens of thousands in fees over the remaining years. Mistake 6. Borrowing from your 401k. Most plans let you borrow up to 50% or $50,000, whichever is less. It sounds harmless. You're paying yourself back with interest. But here's what actually happens. The money you pull out stops compounding. Borrow $50,000 for 5 years, and you lose approximately $60,000 in growth that you'll never get back. And if you leave your job, voluntarily or not, the entire loan balance is due in 60 days. Can't pay it? It converts to a withdrawal. 10% penalty, plus full income tax, on the entire amount. 45% of people who take a 401k loan end up defaulting when they change jobs. That's nearly half. The fix: don't borrow from your 401k. If you need cash, look at a home equity loan, a personal loan, or a payment plan first. Every dollar you pull out stops working for you. Mistake 7. Cashing out when you change jobs. When you leave a job, your plan will offer to send you a check for your balance. It sounds convenient. 45% of people take it. Here's what happens. The check triggers a 20% mandatory withholding, a 10% early withdrawal penalty, and full income tax on the amount. On a $30,000 balance, you lose $3,000 in penalties, $6,000 in withholding, and you owe income tax on the full $30,000. You walk away with maybe $19,000 out of $30,000. You destroyed $11,000 for the convenience of a check. The fix: when you leave a job, roll your balance into your new employer's plan or an IRA. Direct transfer, no check, no taxes, no penalties. Your money keeps growing. It takes 20 minutes. Mistake 8. You went conservative too early. The average 30-year-old has 30% of their 401k in bonds. At 30, you have 30 years of growth ahead of you. Bonds return 3%. Stocks return 10%. On $100,000 over 30 years, that's the difference between $240,000 and $1,700,000. You're choosing the lower number because bonds feel safe. Bonds are appropriate near retirement, not 30 years before it. If you're more than 10 years from retirement, your bond allocation should be 10% or less. If you're more than 20 years out, it should be close to zero. The fix: check your allocation. If you're under 45 and more than 20% in bonds, that's fear, not strategy. Move the excess to a total stock market index fund. Now, 3 features your employer probably never told you about. Feature 1: the Mega Backdoor Roth. Most people know the $23,000 annual 401k contribution limit. But some plans allow after-tax contributions above that limit, up to a total of $69,000 per year including employer match. You contribute after-tax dollars, then convert them to Roth inside the plan. From that point, all growth is tax-free forever. On $23,000 a year for 20 years at 8%, that's $920,000 in tax-free money that most people never use because they don't know it exists. The fix: call your 401k provider. Ask, does my plan allow after-tax contributions? And does it allow in-plan Roth conversions? If yes to both, you have access to the Mega Backdoor. Most plans don't advertise it. You have to ask. Feature 2: Auto-escalation. We covered this in Mistake 2, but it's worth repeating because it's that powerful. 1 setting. Turn it on once. Your contribution goes up 1% every year automatically. You never have to think about it again. Most plans have it. Most employees never turn it on. It's free money hiding behind a toggle switch. Log in. Find it. Turn it on. Right now. Feature 3: In-plan Roth conversion. Some plans let you convert your pre-tax 401k balance to Roth inside the plan, without leaving your employer. You pay income tax on the amount you convert, but from that point forward, all growth is tax-free. The smart move: in a year where the market drops and your balance is temporarily low, you convert at a lower tax cost. Then the market recovers, and all that recovery grows tax-free. The fix: ask your plan provider if in-plan Roth conversions are allowed. If yes, talk to a tax professional about how much to convert. Even converting $20,000 in a down year can save you tens of thousands in taxes over the long run. Let's recap. 8 mistakes, 3 features. Mistakes: not getting the full match, auto-escalation off, contributing too little, too much company stock, forgotten old accounts, borrowing from your 401k, cashing out when changing jobs, going conservative too early. Features: mega backdoor Roth, auto-escalation, and in-plan Roth conversions. Here's your action list. Do this today, not next month. 1. Increase your contribution to at least the full match. 2. Turn on auto-escalation. 3. Check your allocation. Cap company stock at 10%. If you're young, cut your bonds. 4. Find and roll over old 401k accounts. 5. Call your plan provider and ask about after-tax contributions and in-plan Roth conversions. 15 minutes of work. Potentially $500,000 or more back in your retirement. I made a short video covering the 3 biggest traps from this list. It's pinned on my channel. Share it with a coworker who has a 401k. Follow for 1 money rule a day. No hype. Just math.